Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Wednesday, March 7th, 2018. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is down 9.47% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 9,715, a high of 11,664, and a low of 9,520. That's $1 for 10,328 Satoshis. The Meyer multiple is 1.09, far below the normal average of 1.47. Our top story: Bitcoin falls 10% after SEC warns about unregulated exchanges. As we know, when the media calls for regulation, they call for it, but now they're calling it a crackdown. We need those magical media words, crackdown. So, what is a crackdown? The SEC is asking the exchanges to register. Is this the Bitcoin regulation that everyone has always asked for, everyone has always said was coming, and may finally be here? The SEC, as the article says, has stepped up its enforcement activities, shutting down the most obviously fraudulent ICOs and warning the public that stricter regulations were likely to follow. Of course, the market may have fallen 10% on this regulation, or we have a choose your own adventure today. There are 4 possible negative stories driving down the price of Bitcoin. MountGox Trustee sells $400 million in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and they say they've got a lot more to sell. As Kobayashi explained, as a result of the consultation with the court, I considered it necessary and reasonable to sell a certain amount of BTC and BCC at this point and secure a certain amount of money for distribution resources, and thus I sold the amount of BTC and BCC above. I made efforts to sell BTC and BCC as high a price as possible in light of the market price at the timing of the sale. This could be driving down the price of Bitcoin. We've also got an alleged hack of ByNance, which could be driving down the price of Bitcoin. Speculation that the ByNance exchange has been hacked. Traders took to Twitter and Reddit to complain about ByNance suddenly liquidating their altcoin holdings at market rate without consent or prior notification. Some have speculated that ByNance's trading bot was at the heart of the issue, while others believe hackers may have orchestrated attack. Story developing. And finally, Japanese regulator control could suspend some crypto exchanges in Japan. That's right, regulation in the US, regulation in Japan, MountGox selling, and the potential ByNance hack all could be driving down the price of Bitcoin, which is 97.66 while I speak. Looking at a faster view, does look like we may have bottomed, but who knows? Remember, with news like this, you need to wait 24 hours for the entire market to get a chance to react to this news. Even then, you might need to wait another 24 hours so that they can make their decisions on if they're going to buy or if they're going to sell. You can see on the chart here, it does look like a significant drop, but kind of also looks like last Thursday. Moving on. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are commodities, federal judge says. Here's why that matters. As you know, the FTC, the FTC, I think, let's see, CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, has always said that Bitcoin is a commodity and that therefore they should be regulating it. It now looks like they're getting their way. I believe the move to crypto assets and the variety of ICOs and coins and other instruments are leading them to go down this commodity path rather than Bitcoin as a currency. Originally, we'd hoped that Bitcoin would be recognized as a currency, the currency of the internet being a foreign country, and their only rules and message being don't be a dick and fuck off. But it looks like we're going the commodity direction. This regulation also could be pushing down the price of Bitcoin. And finally, although no one cares anymore, Bitcoin exchange Coinbase launches the Dow Jones average of cryptocurrencies. Coinbase is launching a weighted index fund for cryptocurrencies. Much like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, this fund will give it a sense of the American economy. This fund will reflect major trends in the cryptocurrency market. Something like a certain percentage, maybe 60% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, some Ripple or some other things. I guess it doesn't have Ripple because Coinbase doesn't have them yet. It has some Bitcoin Cash, it has some Litecoin, but it's for accredited investors only. Bitcoin expected to democratize markets. Bitcoin accepted to unbank the people, to free them. Coinbase, no. Accredited investors only. So this was big news yesterday. They launched this on CNBC Live. People were live tweeting CNBC to talk about Bitcoin. Kind of blows your mind that that's happening. But this was big news until the price went down, presumably because of one of those 4 events. Or it could just be the charts, or it could just be that it's Wednesday. But let's have some good news. Yesterday, Washington passed the first state law requiring ISPs to abide by net neutrality principles. Great news for protecting internet access and freedom access to the internet. Oregon should be following in Washington's footsteps. It's not over for net neutrality as the states rally to protect the people's right to fair and equal internet. No fast lanes, no unfair traffic. In case you missed it, the words cryptocurrency, blockchain, and ICO have been added to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Always neat when Bitcoin words are added, even if they happen to be ICO or blockchain, which we all know is multiple copies of a giant Excel spreadsheet. Charlie Lee. This news went under the radar recently, but I wanted to highlight this as a huge development in decentralization of Bitcoin mining. Any miner manufacturer that wants to use ASIC Boost will need to join the BDPL and open up their patents. Basically, Little Dragon Technology, the company that created ASIC Boost, which allows you to mine Bitcoin 15% faster, and many believe Chinese miner Bitmain has been using, which is why they never wanted to upgrade to SegWit, which is the reason behind the whole scaling drama, has been open sourced and added to the Patent Defense League. So now if you want to use ASIC Boost, you have to join the Patent Defense League and give up the rest of your patents. This could be huge news for Bitcoin mining and decentralization as ASIC Boost no longer becomes an advantage, but actually becomes a forced reason to join the patent group. Big story from Charlie Lee. He's right about this. Jeremy Gardner, as blockchain technology and crypto assets become more present in the news, conversations, and part of the zeitgeist, I keep revisiting the concept of crossing the chasm of technology adoption, and I try to assess where we are. And if you look at the chart here from the book Crossing the Chasm, a great startup book I suggest you read, Bitcoin is actually way back here. I can't mouse over it, but we're back here in this early adopters wedge, probably a little closer to innovators. We're about to jump the chasm, right? We're starting to speed up. We're going to go over it, and then we're going to enter into the early majority. Then, as you can see, the late majority and the laggards. By the time we get to the laggards, that's when they're pulling the phone booths out of everywhere, and they're taking the cables out of the ground. That's when cell phones have won. We're back here in the beginning. Some computer geeks have cell phones. Most people don't have them, but everyone's heard of them. Everyone's like, oh yeah, my friend or my cousin has a cell phone. Oh yeah, my friend or my cousin bought Bitcoin or bought Ethereum or whatever. A good tweet from Jeremy Gardner. And we got another tweet from Kevin Pham. When Instagram got big, everyone came out with photo sharing clones. When Uber got big, everyone came out with on-demand Uber for X clones. When Bitcoin got big, everyone came out with the next Bitcoin altcoin clones. Bitcoin is 0 to 1. Altcoins are 1 to N. And I am hearing from the chat that the altcoins are getting wrecked today as we're having a general market downturn with the bad news about Bitcoin. But we do have some good news. The Kraken support bot is back. Twitter apparently read their report this time. Initially, it was handled by an automated system, and they had their support bot renewed. As you heard yesterday, the Kraken support bot was warning people about the spam that seems to be attached to almost every tweet in crypto Twitter now. And for warning people, The Twitter bot got banned. So they banned the good guys. Good to see Twitter woke up and fixed it, even if it took them 24 hours. And that's about it for this episode of Today in Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Sure, it's a wild chat today. A lot of people are worried. They've lost money. Maybe they've bought money. Mark says, is it time to leave the market? Chris says, buy the dip. Others say, it's too much news. They're also making tea. Maybe it's time for tea and coffee. Everyone needs to take a break and slow down. JD says Bitcoin headed down to 8,000. And if that doesn't hold, the next stop is 5,500. Reminds me of something. Technical analysis. Did technical analysis see the 10% slide coming? I guess not. I guess it was the news. I don't know. You got to look at more than one thing, I think. Everyone says, are they buying it too late? Oh, it's a sale. Everyone doesn't want to buy the sale. Say crypto is dead. They're waiting for it to double. Just lost all his BitConnect coins. Let's see. And I think we're running out of time. They say it's time to say what I say at the end of the show, which may or may not be a subliminal message. What will you do? Thanks for joining us this time on Today in Bitcoin. Until next time, bye bye.